How can an entire community vanish into thin air, leaving behind no evidence but chilling rumors and ghostly tales? In November of 1930, an eerie mystery unfolded around Anjikuni Lake, a remote, cold region in northern Canada. The kind of place you'd expect to find a small, tightly knit Inuit tribe going about their quiet life in harmony with the harsh wilderness around them. But when a fur trapper named Joe LaBelle approached the village, he found something far more disturbing than the usual frozen landscape. The entire community had simply vanished, gone without a trace. No footprints in the snow, no signs of struggle, just an empty, ghostly silence. It's one of the most baffling disappearances in history, and what makes it even stranger is the sheer number of questions that have haunted this case for decades. How could an entire village, families, elders, children, all disappear so suddenly? Did something or someone take them? Were they victims of a brutal natural force, or is there a darker, more paranormal explanation behind it all? Get ready, because this story is about to take a turn for the eerie. Before diving into the disappearance itself, it's essential to understand the people who lived there, the Inuit of Anjikuni Lake. This was no ordinary village. The Inuit people, also known as Eskimos in some historical texts, had thrived in the harsh Arctic conditions for centuries. Their culture revolved around the frozen landscape, where they built igloos, hunted seals, fished the icy waters, and wore clothing made of animal skins to survive the bone-chilling cold. Anjikuni Lake itself, situated in the remote reaches of northern Canada, wasn't just another secluded spot. It was a lifeline. For the Inuit tribe, the lake provided sustenance, and the nearby forests offered protection from the relentless winds. It was far removed from modern civilization. But that was exactly how the Inuit preferred it. Their lifestyle was built on a deep connection with the land, passed down through generations. They were accustomed to the cold, the solitude, and the isolation. But despite their familiarity with the unforgiving environment, something happened. Something that tore the tribe from their roots, leaving their homes eerily empty. To understand the magnitude of this mystery, we need to dive into the event itself. The sudden, inexplicable disappearance of an entire village. It was a cold November evening in 1930 when Joe LaBelle, a seasoned fur trapper familiar with the region, made a chilling discovery at Anjikuni Lake. As he approached the Inuit village, he expected to be greeted by the usual signs of life: families tending to their chores, smoke rising from chimneys, and the sound of dogs barking. Instead, there was nothing. Silence, like a heavy blanket, covered the village. The houses, made of sturdy stones and hides, stood empty. The fires in the hearths had long gone out, leaving cold ash behind. Even more unsettling was the fact that the villagers had seemingly left in the middle of daily activities. Clothing was still hung out to dry, food remained stored, untouched. LaBelle even found kayaks tied up at the shore, as if ready to be used, yet no one was there to paddle them. Adding to the strangeness, LaBelle noted that none of the villagers' sled dogs were present, and later reports claimed that the dogs had been found buried under a thick layer of snow, starved to death. No signs of a struggle, no footprints leading away, and no indications of a hurried departure were ever found. The scene was as if the village had been abandoned in a single, swift moment. LaBelle, spooked by the eerie silence and the disappearance of the entire community, made his way to the nearest telegraph office to report the incident to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. Upon their investigation, the RCMP found no trace of the tribe. What they did find were other unsettling clues. Graves in the village's cemetery had been opened, with the bodies inside reportedly missing. Whatever had caused this, it wasn't just a typical migration or evacuation. It was something far stranger. The RCMP's official report didn't offer many answers. It only deepened the mystery. The possibility of a sudden migration was ruled out, given the fact that the village's supplies, everything they would need to survive, had been left behind. Even more curious, reports later surfaced that strange lights had been seen in the sky above Anjikuni Lake around the time of the disappearance. Witnesses described them as glowing orbs, floating in the night sky, casting an eerie glow over the already unsettling landscape. To this day, the Anjikuni Lake disappearance remains one of the most bizarre, unsolved mysteries in Canadian history. What happened to the Inuit tribe? Why were there no signs of struggle? And why were their belongings left behind as if they had vanished in an instant? With no solid evidence, the disappearance of the Inuit tribe from Anjikuni Lake has sparked numerous theories, ranging from the plausible to the downright paranormal. Let's dive into some of the most popular and chilling explanations that have captivated mystery hunters for decades. One of the most common theories is tied to the unforgiving environment of northern Canada. Harsh weather, sudden storms, or even starvation might have forced the tribe to flee, possibly to a safer location. However, this explanation doesn't account for the eerie lack of footprints or evidence of any rushed departure. Could they really have abandoned their village so suddenly without leaving a single trace in the snow? Another plausible theory suggests that the Inuit tribe might have been driven out by famine or disease. Northern regions were often prone to food shortages, and it's possible that a deadly epidemic swept through the community, forcing them to flee in search of better conditions. However, this theory is weakened by the fact that the village was left untouched. Supplies were still there, homes were not looted, and even the animals had not been taken. Then there are the more paranormal explanations. Some speculate that the tribe was abducted by extraterrestrial forces. UFO sightings were reportedly common in the area around the time of the disappearance. The glowing orbs seen in the sky? Some believe these were alien ships taking the villagers away for reasons unknown. It's a theory that fits with the suddenness of the event and the lack of physical clues, but it remains speculative at best. Another eerie theory involves the supernatural. Local legends suggest that the Inuit people had long been aware of dark spiritual forces lurking in the wilderness. Some believe that these spirits, angered or disturbed, took revenge on the tribe, leading to their disappearance. While this idea ventures deep into folklore, it has remained a persistent narrative in discussions about the case. Lastly, there's the theory of a government cover-up. Some believe that the mysterious disappearance might have involved secret military activities, perhaps testing new technology or weaponry, which led to the evacuation or eradication of the tribe. This theory is highly speculative, but has gained traction in some conspiracy circles over the years. Could it have been a natural disaster, something from beyond this world, or forces that remain unknown? Over the decades, the Anjikuni Lake mystery has become a haunting legend passed down through local Inuit communities and mystery enthusiasts worldwide. What makes this story stand out isn't just the eerie disappearance of an entire tribe, but the fact that it remains unsolved to this day. From conspiracy theorists to paranormal investigators, this case has attracted all sorts of attention, each person adding their own layer of speculation and intrigue. The legend has also made its way into pop culture. Countless books, documentaries, and online forums have explored the disappearance, some turning it into tales of alien abductions, others attributing it to supernatural forces at play. It's a mystery that refuses to die, continuing to fuel imaginations and discussions even in modern times. But the mystery isn't just a spooky story. It's a reminder of how little we understand about our world and the remote places that still hold their secrets. Could it be that the truth is out there, buried under the snow, waiting to be uncovered? Or is it one of those unsolved mysteries that will remain forever shrouded in darkness? Whether you believe in the supernatural, the extraterrestrial, or a more down-to-earth explanation, the fact remains: an entire community vanished without a trace, leaving behind nothing but questions. If you enjoyed this mysterious journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more eerie stories from around the world. And hey, if you've got your own theory on what happened at Anjikuni Lake, drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.